Tonight on CTV News, charges are laid for a prison death. The razors are out for a great cause, and the Tactics looking confident for an Easter win.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening. 3 prisoners have been charged with murder over the fatal attack on Benton Parapa at Christchurch Men's Prison. He was rushed to hospital on last week but died on Monday.
Canterbury police have charged 3 men with the murder of 44-year-old Benton Parapa, who was fatally attacked last week. The 3 men, aged between 20 and 36, will appear in the Christchurch District Court next Wednesday. Police have 10 officers working on the investigation but will not elaborate further at this time. Parapa was allegedly attacked by 3 men on the 25th of March. He was taken by ambulance to the Christchurch Hospital with critical injuries and died in the early hours of Monday. The incident is one of a string of violent cases at the Christchurch Men's Prison over the last week and has highlighted the need for prison staff to be better protected. Today, 25-year-old Terence Wanga was remanded in custody after appearing in court today for assaulting another prisoner on Tuesday. He'll face court next week via video link from prison for the charge, in which the assaulted prisoner had to be hospitalised before transferred back to prison that night. Police, who allege Wanga jointly committed the assault with 2 other prisoners, are continuing to investigate. It's the 4th incident in the last 2 weeks, and it's thought that the latest case may have been spurred on by the fatal attack of Parapa. The association representing correction officers say prison staff are ill-equipped and should be supplied with stab-proof vests and pepper spray.
Christchurch's Hagley Oval has been crowned International Cricket Pitch of the Year. The Christchurch City Council's turf management team has been presented with this prestigious award. Recreation and Sports Unit Manager John Fiscal says it's the first time the accolade has been awarded to a brand new ground. He says the improvements to Hagley Oval make it almost unrecognisable today compared to 3 years ago. Bede's board member and 2 of the school's rowing coaches have resigned following the High Court decision allowing 2 students to compete in last week's secondary school's rowing regatta. The resignations are the latest in a saga which was sparked a public backlash to a ruling which was overruled by St Bede's College, the students from competing in the actual rowing regatta. The schools say it will not comment any further on the matter. Well, it's for a good cause, and a local school currently holds the record for raising funds for it. Cashmere High School is making record attempts when it comes to raising cash for leukemia research.
It's lunchtime at this Christchurch High School, with hundreds of students watching on to see their classmates shave their hair for charity. Around 60 Year 13 students took up the challenge to Shave for a Cure, fundraising to support those living with leukemia and other blood-related illnesses in New Zealand. And it's been put together by 2 young leaders working with their year group to make it all happen.
We've been going around to assemblies, we've been just talking about it all the time, having meetings, throwing in the notices, just keeping the idea in the minds of the people and then just sharing the ideas. When people pull out, they go, don't really want to do it. But other people, they dive in. They go, yeah, this sounds awesome.
There are around 10,000 people living with blood cancer in New Zealand, with lymphoma being most common among 15 to 24-year-olds. And the deputy head boy says it's important to raise money for this cause, with it being on a personal level in the Cashmere school community.
Just recently, the head girl, one of her best friends, was diagnosed. So it's quite a real thing, and we've had about 4 parents in our time at Cashmere have passed away from cancer-related causes. So it's a real thing for all of us, and this is just one of the ways that we can express what it means.
The school was aiming to raise $10,000, but now they've more than doubled that number, with the team currently holding the national top spot for the amount of donations this year.
We hit 15,000, we said 20,000 would be nice, and now we're at 26,000, so it's a great feeling.
1,500 Kiwis are signed up throughout the country, raising a total of $800,000, with Shave for a Cure hoping to reach their target of $2 million. But this hasn't been the only event organised by the students. They've been collecting around the city with buckets in hand and having a number of collection days at school.
We had a lot of loose change Fridays. People went around on Fridays collecting money. Obviously it's Mufti Day. Lots of emails going out, Facebook event to keep people in the loop for what's been going on.
The boys are getting their hair shaved too, with mixed feelings about their hair coming off.
I'm just excited. I'm just ready for it to go.
I'm absolutely terrified. I've been last 3 or 4 days, I kept telling my girlfriend and telling my friends at swimming what's it going to look like when it's gone, and I'm so nervous about it.
After watching the rest of the students, it's now time for the two to have their turn.
I can feel the wind right now. I can feel it. Oh, what? Oh, there's nothing there.
It feels pretty weird. I'm pretty nervous to see what it looks like.
And their reaction?
So much eyebrow, not enough here.
Oh my God. Whoa.
But the boys don't mind their new style, knowing they've helped others around the country. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
Good on them. We'll sort of come here on CTV News. Dion Swiggs returns to talk about rebuilding Christchurch. Hi, I'm Chris Lynch. Join me every Monday at 8:30 on CTV as we discuss the issues affecting you, your family and everything to do with Canterbury. That's CTV 8:30 right here.
Computer not working? Replace or repair? DIY or get a technician? Looking for parts? Thinking of upgrading? Need accessories? You've got questions, we've got answers. Global PC.
The King is back, direct from the UK. Ben Portsmouth, voted the world's best Elvis performer with the Roger Fox Band, now on his 2015 World Tour. His stage presence and voice quality will make you weak at the knees. You could be watching the King himself. Don't miss Ben Portsmouth, the ultimate Elvis performer. 10 shows only. For booking details, see thekingisback.co.nz.
The preparation, the devotion, the fearlessness, the intensity. Runway model management. First impressions are everything.
Made to measure interiors, made with care, made for you.
Join Graham Sinclair and the team at Gone Fishing as they bring you great stories, fishing tips and beautiful scenery. Gone Fishing, Friday night at 8:30, right here on CTV.
And welcome back to CTV News. Well, 2 key bridges have opened. A new planned building precinct is on the way. And Sarah is celebrating having restored the underwater ecosystem of the Avon River. A lot is happening around our city, so to discuss these issues and more, I'm joined by Dion Swiggs from Rebuild Christchurch. Good evening, Dion. Good to have you on the programme.
Good evening.
Let's start with the Hagley Oval. Voted one of the best ovals there possibly is. I mean, that's a great feel-good story, isn't it?
Not one of the best international cricket field this coming year. So this is really a fantastic opportunity. I think it's great. I mean, 3 years ago, Hagley Oval didn't really exist in the way it does now, and we've held the opening ceremony of the Cricket World Cup. We've held 2 games for the Cricket World Cup, and it really looks good. If you've been there or you've been to the events or seen some of the photos, it really does look great. So I think this is a really good testament to the good planning. You know, the government and the council wanted the Hagley Oval to be there. They made it happen, and now we're really reaping a lot of the rewards for it being happening.
We are, and even today when the council put out a press release with the image of Hagley Oval from the bird's eye view, it did look absolutely stunning, didn't it?
Yes, they've done a lot of work to the grounds there, so I really another good testament to the people who are doing the work there. I really take my hat off to those people.
Sky Television donating $200,000 to Denton Park, or the Oval cycle track. It didn't have to, but it did. Good on them, I say.
Yeah, Sky Television committed after the earthquakes with the Prime Minister's Fund $1 million to help restore some of the sports facilities in Christchurch. And so the latest one that they've done is $200,000 that's gone to Denton Oval, which is cycling in the city. And what that's going to do is they're going to be able to upgrade some of the facilities there that were damaged from the earthquake, but also sort of fix some of the ring around so that the track itself. And so that's going to really make sure that you're going to have cycling in that part of the area for 10 to 15 years in the future.
All right, new building proposed for the development in the health precinct. What's this all about?
Yeah, so this is the first confirmed development in the health precinct. It's a really cool looking building. It's done by Richard.
It does look great, doesn't it?
It does. Look, Richard Diver has developed this building. It's going to be. He's also developing the old Oxford Terrace building, which is next door to that.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does look. It really does. So. Richard Diver is a really good person for the city to have at the moment. He's put 10 buildings on Victoria Street, so he's part of that development, and now getting on to doing this, I think it's a really good thing, and it's getting that health precinct up and running.
The bus exchange, I can't believe I'm not a great user of the bus, but I am actually quite excited. The partial opening scheduled for May the 15th.
Isn't that fantastic? So May the 15th, they're going to be partially opening. So that's not the big shopfront area that you see of the bus exchange. It's the areas where the buses go in and come out. So May the 15th is the date that's going to be opening. So the temporary bus exchange will be closed from there.
Look at these amazing images. I never thought, Dion Swiggs, I would get so excited about seeing cranes. But look at all those cranes. It is a remarkable sight, that's for sure.
That?
I absolutely love it. The Avon River precinct. Nearly finished. Hang on. Now I understand that they found they've put in, is it one eel back into the Avon River?
This is a really good story. Now the government said, anchor project, Avon River precinct, getting the ecological river back into the heart of the city. Yeah. They've now completed one whole year of fixing up the river, or basically what they're fixing up, and what you can see now is what the river.
Picture, right?
Yes, this is what the river looked like before, and now they've just finished a year-long work on that river. They took out 10,000 tonnes of liquefaction and silt from the river. They've planted almost 10,000 new plants along the riverside and within the river, and they actually took out 1,500 fish and have transplanted them back into the location.
Nearly out of time. Just want to quickly touch on CERA trade negotiations in India. Time wasting or something we needed in this city?
I firmly believe we need better coordination between these kind of things. It could just be a waste of time, but if we don't get the city council involved in these kind of things, it's just a waste of time.
All right, thank you for that. And for more information on these stories and more, head to Dion's amazing Facebook page, facebook.com/rebuilding Christchurch. And now here's Warren Head with this week's Business Roundup.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. This weekend looks like good weather through the Canterbury side of the country and a good time to go out and look at houses. And the good word that I've got from the QV people there is that values in Christchurch have now started to flatten out after a very strong increase in price. But it looks like 7,000 plus new homes built last year has taken the sting out of the local market. May not seem so, but it is a bit better than it is in other cities, particularly Auckland. The average price across the country now is about $500,000 for a property. And that's not going to take you anywhere in Auckland, where the value in Auckland is now somewhere around about $700,000. So if you're feeling bad this weekend about values here in Christchurch, pause for a moment and just reflect that in Auckland, residential prices there last year went up 13%, and the price there now is about 25% higher than the previous peak back in 2007. So pretty grim if you live up that part of the country. Now, what is grim this week? And you didn't think I was going to talk about milk, but I'm afraid I have to, because there was another global price auction this week, and the values are rather sad. The fall for whole milk powder was down 13%, and skim milk powder about 9%. So overall, the market was down about 10 or 11%. Now, the commentary today is that this is likely to put the skids under Fonterra's forecast milk payout price for the next season. So that will be very difficult for farmers to accommodate yet another knock, and possibly also affect the smaller towns around the city to some extent as the flow of funds starts to cool off. So What is the good take out of it? Well, there isn't much, except that it doesn't look like it can get much worse. The issues are coming out of demand, and there's more product out there than there is demand right now. Milk collections are up, so there's more milk coming up for auction as well in terms of product. Now, there is a little bit of a longer term disturbing feature coming through, and that is, as from this week, a quota in the European Union was changed. Now, since time immemorial, 1984 in fact, back in the Muldoon era, the farmer in Europe has had a production quota slapped on him, and if he went through the top, he got fined around about €27 per 100 kg of milk solids. Now that's come off, so what's the effect for New Zealand? Well, it's surely not going to be good. It means there's going to be more competition out there. And the big prices that we've seen in the last few years have been occurring because China is buying almost exclusively from New Zealand. So in the longer term, we're going to see Europeans competing in our market space. So that may cap dairying returns across the country long term. These things are going to be worked through over a period of years, so no need to panic on the farm this weekend in particular. Now, if you're driving this weekend, I'd advise that you might like to keep the tank a little topped up. The world price for oil went up this week, back over $50. That'll start to show through in the currency side of things, and that rebound will feed through to prices at the pump. So in that context, I'd advise that you keep the price, keep the tank full, no matter what the price looks like. I'm Warren Head for Headliner.co.nz.
Thanks, Warren. Still to come here on CTV News, your region's weather.
With all the latest innovations in the world of technology, Shift has everything you need to stay informed and in the know. Shift, 2:15 on Monday, right here on CTV.
Opus is recreating the heart of Canterbury. From large-scale projects to commercial buildings. Your design, your vision. Opus.
Colour in your life. Colour Steel, the roof of New Zealand.
Diversity. No deposit. Instant finance. Convenience. Open 7 days. Austin Motor Company.
Drive It showcases the new arrivals to the motoring world, comparing and testing the latest models to discover which one is the best. Drive It, Sunday afternoons at 2:30, only on CTV.
And welcome back to CTV News. And now here's Gordon with this weekend's sports preview.
The Crusaders will look to come away with a win from their trip to South Africa with their final game of the 2-week trip against the Sharks in Durban this weekend. The side will be without the services of Dan Carter for the match, with Carter returning home to await the birth of his second child. The two sides have some recent history, with two memorable encounters last season. In May, a 14-man Sharks side upset the Crusaders 30 points to 25 after Jean Daysel was given a red card in the 16th minute for a vicious stomp on Jordan Tafua. The Crusaders then got revenge in last year's semi-final with a dominant 38 points to 6 win over the South Africans. The two sides meet for the first time since then in the early hours of Sunday morning. Well, after a weekend off, the mainland Tactics have had an extra week to prepare for their next match against the Southern Steel on Monday night. It's been nearly a fortnight since the Tactics went down to the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic in their last match of the ANZ Championship. The side were unable to get their first win in the comp before their bye week, with offensive errors plaguing their first quarter performance. After trailing by 10 early on, the side rebounded and found themselves in the hunt come the final quarter, but were unable to complete the comeback.
Because we sort of got within one goal and had those opportunities in the last quarter, even though we had played well for most of that game, it's still a loss on the board. So we really are hungry for that win, and nothing will sort of make us happy until we can get that.
The next chance for that elusive win comes on Monday night when the side hosts the Southern Steel. The Tactics went down 68 points to 54 against the Steel in round 2, with Jamaican goal shooter Janelle Fowler-Reid dominating the shooting circle. One player that knows all about her threat is Tactics defender Jess Moulds.
Yeah, she's always a dominating presence. She always has been, and I actually really enjoy playing against her. It's a real challenge for us, and that's the beauty of being a defender, is trying to figure out how to get the better of your shooter. So we're looking forward to that challenge. We've got some tricks up our sleeve we've learnt from last time, and we're looking forward to a good performance defensively.
The Tactics mid-court could see a mix-up going forward, with their match against the Magic seeing the introduction of a new face. After being called into the side as injury cover at the beginning of the season, Chloe Williamson got her first court time after captain Anna Thompson fell sick before the match. After being introduced as a substitute last week, the young player impressed with her performance.
You know, if you can get a young player on and they actually stand up, it's great, because going forward it means we've got one more person that we can use in games in those situations. So, yeah, really good. Anna hasn't played that much centre before, so it's good to have extra options in there as well. So, also we put Anna into wing attack and she was effective there. So, you know, it's just having options to cover if we want to do different things as well.
The nerves were flowing for the young mid-quarter when she was told to bib up.
When Sue said I was going on, I think I handled it okay, but I think inside it's like, oh shoot, this, big moment. So, but no, you have to always ready at any time to go on.
And now, after her introduction onto the big stage, Williamson is looking forward to helping the team on the court in the future.
Always hungry to get some court time. Love it, just love being out there, and it's a pretty cool thing to, say that that's hopefully your career path, and to continue down that streak. So it's pretty cool to get out there. So any game time, definitely put my hand up for.
Another position on the court with question marks around it going into Monday is at goal attack, with Bailey Mez and Gemma Hazeldine both showing glimpses of what they're capable of.
They're just fighting it out, and I think it depends who we're playing. Obviously, Jem had a really good game in the last game, but then, of course, come to training and Bailey trains well. So I think between the two of them, they're sort of fighting it out for that position at the moment. So, both of them are options, and we'll just go to whatever one we think is going to get us the win.
Monday night's match against the Steel gets underway at 7:40. Still with netball, and the Silver Ferns are set to play in Christchurch for the first time since 2012. Horncastle Arena has been confirmed as the venue for the first test of the Trans-Tasman Constellation Cup series between New Zealand and Australia. The opening match is scheduled for Tuesday, October 20th. And finally tonight, the second round of the Hawkins Cup Metro Rugby competition rolls on this weekend with a string of interesting fixtures. Last year's Hawkins Trophy winners, High School Old Boys, will be looking for their first win when they take on first round winners Linwood at Bob Deans Park. Rawiti Domain will see two round one winners meet when New Brighton take on Marist Albion, while Burnside and Shirley will both be looking for their first win at Burnside Park. University host Sumner at Island Fields, while Belfast are at home to Christchurch. The biggest contest on Saturday could be at Lincoln University when the winners of last year's Hawkins Cup host Sydenham, with last year's trophy runners-up getting a win against High School Old Boys last weekend. You're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Finlater for CTV Sport.
Thanks, Gords. Now time for your region's weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Let's take a look at your weather. Timaru, you're on 23 today. Temuka and Geraldine, slightly warmer on 24 degrees. Ashburton and Medford, slightly warmer for you, 25. Rakaia, 25 for you also. Looking at Darfield now, 25 degrees was your high today. Leeston and Rolleston, slightly warmer on 26 degrees. Lincoln, you're on 26. Christchurch, 25. Over in Akaroa today, you had a nice warm day on 25 degrees. Further north, Kaiapoi, Rangiora and Amberley, you all shed a high of 28 degrees. Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, a very similar picture for you also, 28 degrees. Kaikoura, slightly cooler on 27. Taking a look at tomorrow's weather now, a fine and mild Good Friday ahead for Timaru with some high cloud at times and moderate northeasterly winds. Tonight's low is 9, tomorrow's high 21 degrees. To Ashburton now, mostly fine and sunny with some high cloud at first and mild temperatures. Your overnight low is 9, tomorrow's high 21. To Christchurch now, northeasterly breezes will be on the cards with some pleasant temperatures and scattered high cloud for your Easter Friday. Your overnight low is 9, tomorrow's high 21. Up in Kaikoura tomorrow, a fine and sunny day ahead for you with some cloud at times and moderate northeasterly winds. Your overnight low is 9, tomorrow's high 21. Let's take a look at the other areas around the region now. Temuka and Geraldine, 22 degrees for you. Methven and Rakaia, slightly cooler on 21. Darfield, Leeston, Rolleston and Lincoln, you'll all be sharing 21 tomorrow. Over in Akaroa, you're expected to hit 21 degrees tomorrow. As for Kaiapoi, Rangiora and Amberley, you'll all be on 21 degrees. Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot expect a high of 23 degrees. Looking ahead for Canterbury now, it'll be fine and mild at first on Saturday with some high cloud and northerly winds. Then there'll be a period of cooler southwesterlies developing later on in the day. As for Sunday, there'll be some cooler temperatures and light southwesterly winds, a few showers possible at times. Looking at Easter Monday now, you'll have some thick cloud but a fine day with northeasterly winds. As for Tuesday, high cloud breaking through with some sunny periods developing. Expect those northeasterly winds to die away. And for Wednesday, expect a cloudy day and some rain here and there. And this week's weather music has been brought to you by Christchurch composer Sam O'Neill. And that is your weather for Thursday.
Very nice music indeed, and that is CTV News for Thursday. Have a great long weekend, won't you? And don't forget to turn your clocks back 1 hour from 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. Have a great evening.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.